Alright, sorry about that, guys. I haven't streamed from this computer before. I keep forgetting to set up my technology. And seeing as how I do tech for a living, kind of, that's not a good thing. So I was just saying, while you guys couldn't hear me, it looks like we have some bottoming volume here at 225. I know, Frederick, you were asking about buying here. This is another H pattern, if you guys remember that pattern. So an H pattern typically goes more to the downside. So if you want to nibble here, I would do it for a trade only, and I would watch your stops very carefully. I would have a point at which you would get out, and I would have a point at which you would add in case this leads to a larger run-up, maybe towards one of these trend lines. I actually can't see the YouTube. This is you guys here on YouTube. I can't see you guys at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and try to keep it on the charts here. I may pop back every once in a while. What's up, Chris? Chuck Norris. Man, did you hit the cryptocurrency market, buddy? What's going on? So Bitcoin might go below 3,000, he was saying. Yeah, I'm going to do a video later when I have more time regarding that. As a matter of fact, this may be... Anyway, I'm going to do a worst case scenario just for information, for you guys to keep in the back of your head, not necessarily to trade off of. But we're seeing a little bit of bounce here, already a $6 bounce from the 225 area. We're already looking at that a little bit. Let's go to the 1 minute, get really granular. Why, I don't know. Whoa. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep this smooth, but I'm on a trackpad. And as you know, that can be difficult. So we're hitting this prior bottom right here. We have tons of bottoming volume right here, and then we've gone lower than that, and we're starting to see a little bit of accumulation. These are some of those people in the chat room yesterday that were talking about buying at 225. Not only you guys, obviously, but others as well. Definitely due for a good bounce. We talked yesterday about a bounce, and that kind of came into play. Let's go to the 15 minute. We were talking about a bounce up off of these lows, if you recall. Sorry guys, let me try to get this looking halfway decent. I've got so many trend lines here. Let me get rid of some of these. A cluttered chart makes for a cluttered mind. That's my Zen quote for the day. You like that one? I kind of like that one. So I think this was yesterday. I want to get this time frame right. So 9:13 at noon. Yeah, I was kind of streaming about then. So we talked about this running up into prior support, which it looks like it did. We could get something again here. So we have declining trend lines. You can kind of use these guys, or these lines is potential targets for selling on these extreme sell-offs like we're in the middle of right now. So I think yesterday we were talking about this line, if I remember correctly. Again, guys, I can't see the chat. I'll get back to it in a minute. I think we were talking about it could get up to this trend line was the one we were referring to. And this trend line actually was in play. I remember drawing this at some point yesterday, saying it's kind of a weak trend line because it has 2 points here and here. But it looks like it rose right up to it and failed again. Anytime you see trend lines just failing, that is a very weak market. You want to be on the sidelines. You don't want to be involved. If you are involved, if you're still holding down here at 227, I don't know if I can tell you to sell your positions here. Now that's you're so far down the red at this point. I'm going to check out the chat. Oh, still audio? Okay. Alright guys, streaming, I'm going to talk, see if you guys can hear me. I apologize about this. I just jumped on, I'm at work. Output settings. Love it. Well, if you guys can't hear me, I'm trying to stream, but now I'm getting a 504 error on YouTube indicating a server error. Oh, I love YouTube. Just freaking love YouTube. There was an issue with cookies, with getting a 404 error. Son of a bitch. Okay, so let's go to live streaming, and you're going to give me a 504 error. Fuck. Fuck me. I'm streaming. I don't know if you guys can see me manage my computer, but or hear me. God damn it. Clear my fucking cache again, Google. Your damn browser. Fucking manage it. Stop. Fucking computer. Fine, we'll clear all my browsing data. Lo and behold, YouTube fucking works now. I'm trying to stream the carnage, but oh, that's the wrong username. I'm trying to stream to my guys, but they're having a hard time here. Just live streaming to them, just chatting with them. Fucking shit's tanking, son. Yeah. Actually, the only thing that's up is Arc. Arc's like the only thing that's up. Okay. Wow. Am I finally like actually back? Can you guys literally see me now? No sound. What the fuck? Alright, you guys can hear it? Man, that was a tough one. Alright. Okay, I'm just gonna double check you guys can hear me, because last time I thought you could and you were talking. Please, please double check. You want to say hi, Adam? Say hi, Adam. Okay, you can hear and see. My goodness, 29 you guys still here? Thanks for dealing with all that crap. Frederick, I know you're not going anywhere, buddy. Okay, so what are we seeing here? I'm gonna close that door. Alright. Yeah, it's crashing. So we got IOTA down at 45. We've got Omisego at 8 even. Everything is going to be high volume. Everything is going to be carnage here. So no doom and gloom. I'm sitting in mostly cash. I was pretty stupid last night. I was talking with Adam over there, and I took a couple small positions in some little coins. And I'm just kind of sitting in them right now. But as far as the major coins go, you know, I still have my main Ethereum position is still in cash. It's going to be in cash. This is looking at the 15-minute chart. It is very weak. There's no sign of buying in sight. We do have a little bit here at 225, but the fact that it's been sitting down at 225 indicates it's being sold into. There is some buying pressure here, but it looks like the selling pressure is selling into that buying pressure. So at this point, we just have to wait and see what's going to prevail, the selling pressure or the buying pressure. Okay, and that's really what we're looking at. Is the end of cryptos? Yes, cryptos are over. I'm just kidding. Yeah, let's look at some coins. I was looking at Litecoin. Litecoin already went past, I think, my main downside target in Litecoin. I wasn't expecting it to. I think I mentioned it. You know, I've been doing a lot of streams, you guys. I'm sorry. I know they're really long. And if you're not live with them, it's hard to get all this information. You just have to trust me. We were talking about Litecoin going back to a prior high. Let's go to the daily. We talked about Litecoin going back to this breakout level and maybe going beneath it, and this is as low as the downside target that I was thinking of. We've already completely negated this entire channel at this point. This is panic mode right now in the markets. Not saying you should panic. I'm saying participants are panicking, and since you're here participating in a bit of a community, we are not panicking. If you actively have positions, you're probably panicking, but if you want to talk about it, that's what we're here for. So say something in the chat. We've been talking about this, guys. You need to be part of something when you're trading. It's hard doing it by yourself. So all I can say is keep your heads up. We just got to wait it out. So I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking right now, just from my perspective with my money, me trading me. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. This is awesome. I'm so glad I'm cash. That's what I'm thinking right now. That's literally what I'm thinking. I'm so glad that I'm cash here and that I have options right now. Because when you're cash, you have options. When you don't have any cash, you don't have any options. You feel backed into a corner, you feel the need to buy, and you feel the need to sell. Well, I guess you don't feel the need to buy, but you feel the need to do something because there may be other opportunities out there. There may be some selling pressure coming in. If you're at a profit, do you take it? That's always a good feeling. And if you're not in a profit, you're in a loss. And do you sell now? And that's always a bad feeling. So I'm kind of holding here. I'm looking at this 225 level. So we do have we're looking at the daily here now because our time frame now is longer term down at these levels. You can't be looking at the 2-hour chart if you want to get a feel for where the market's going. You have to look at the larger time frames. And for Ethereum, we're lucky enough to use the daily. I know in some of these other coins like Omise Go, the daily is a little bit useless. You need to look at the 4-hour, maybe the 2-hour chart. But there's just a lot of red. One key difference between this run-up and this run-up, and even during the sell-off, we see a lot more red during this sell-off. If you notice over here, the intensity of the sell-off is quite extreme, as well as the volume in the sell-off is quite extreme. So using these two as kind of guidelines, we had a shakedown, which is kind of like right here. We have another breakdown here, which we're doing something similar here. Let's see the time frame here. The distance to this low. Oh, that's the wrong tool, sorry. The distance to this low is 15 days. That's the distance from this peak to this low. So right now the distance from this peak to this low, we're sitting at 13 days. So the sell-off is a little more abrupt. If you notice as well, this particular sell-off had a trend line here that was pretty aggressive, and if we try to draw that trend line from the top again, we see a pretty large gap. There's a pretty large gap. There's a lot of selling in here, just a lot of selling. I mean, when you're trading, guys, you're looking for buying pressure and selling pressure, and right now we're seeing selling pressure. So sorry guys, I can't see the chat and do that at the same time. Yeah, Paul, Jamie Diamond's effed up my laptop. I agree. I'm going to send him a bill. Litecoin down to 40. Neil, what to do? I'm all cash. I'm glad now. That's right, Frederick. Cash is a position. We need to keep this in mind, guys. Cash means you don't have any Bitcoin or Ethereum positions or Omise Go. You literally have fiat currency. You want fiat currency positions during times like this. You wanted to be at fiat currency since we talked about it cracking the head and shoulders pattern a couple of days ago at the latest. This is literally, if you weren't cash up here kind of heeding some of these sell signals we've been talking about, you definitely should be cash from 287 from the break of this. Yeah, Vlad, hey buddy. Hey, yeah, it's been a while. Been a while since I've seen you on the stream. The hand holding is pretty good. It's helpful to have, a shoulder to lean on, and that's kind of what I'm trying to be to you guys. I'm actually working right now. I took over a conference room, so I'm just kind of sitting here. 1% Lisk, 1% Cloak, 98% cash. That's really good, buddy. Good job. Um, I'm not covering specific coins typically. I can, Diogo. Let me check that out. You mentioned Monaco, Virgin, Pivx. So I'm assuming everything's in the red. Virgin, Pivx are smaller coins. Monaco is a little bit larger cap from my understanding. I don't want to get too deep in the woods here, guys. You guys, sorry, I'm having a hard time finding Monaco. Oh, there it is. Yeah. You know what, guys? Here, if you have a question about a coin, is it sitting at lows? If it's sitting at lows, because I don't have a lot of time here today, so let's try to be constructive with the questions. If you see your coin sitting at lows, say, hey, my coin is sitting at lows, what should I be doing? Pivx larger than Monaco? Okay, fair enough. So 25% sell off. Guys, these coins are selling off. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to the stream, welcome. I know it's hard to catch every guy on YouTube that has a video about cryptocurrencies. There's quite a few of us, but at this point in time, if you have a profit in something, I think you should be taking it. If you have a loss in something, you need to evaluate how much pain you're willing to withhold and come up with some kind of a selling plan. I'm not saying you sell now. We are in a panic situation overall in the markets. I'm not saying you guys are panicking. I'm just saying the markets generally are panicking. You guys are what? 50, 60 people out of a million trading this right now. There's no hedge, Oliver. There's no hedge. Don't hedge. Be cash or be in a position. You can't actually hedge. You can go into Tether, but you should do fiat currencies. You should be out. Is it too late to sell Bitcoin, Ethereum? It's low to sell Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'll be honest. We're due a bounce here at some point, and by me saying that doesn't mean we're going to get it. I mean, it feels like we need a bounce. Let's zoom out on this 2-hour chart. That being said, I thought we would get a bounce here. Looks like we're selling further. If you're in pain right now, if you're just really in some pain, if it breaks this low here at 225, I say you sell it. That's my personal opinion. I'm not in your shoes. I'm just not in your shoes. I can't really it's hard to give that advice. It's really hard to give that advice, guys. I don't want to mislead you. I'm trying to, I say real crypto for a reason. I'm trying to be real with you. I'm not trying to pump you into subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to give you good information. That's all I'm trying to do here. So, I get these questions down here, and down here. So we're consolidating a little bit down here towards the 225 to 230 area. We may get a bounce up into this trend line here at some point. If that happens, I would sell at that point. If you're down here holding, I wouldn't necessarily sell right here. If we break this low at 225, I would highly consider selling. Let me get back to the chat. Chris, I'm unshakable. You know what, buddy? That's awesome. I'm a little shakeable. That's why I sell. I'm a little shakeable. Going to hit 3,000 in Bitcoin. Will it go lower than 3,000? So that's going to be, let's do a little bit of analysis on that. I'm going to do a video a little bit later. But let's do a little bit of analysis on Bitcoin and the longer term and the shorter term. Yeah, look. So I want to show you something here, guys. I want to show you something here. So this is Bitcoin on the 15-minute. I'm going to go to the 2-hour. This sell-off has accelerated. Okay. I'm not saying this is happening, but but this is an extraordinarily weak market, and we could, okay, you know, let me pull the band-aid off. Let me just pull the band-aid off of this wound. I don't like how this thing works. All right, going to a weekly chart. And sorry guys, I'm not a big fan with how TradingView does this. So going to a weekly chart here. This is a weekly chart for Bitcoin. Try to ignore all these things. I've said in a couple of videos, and I haven't harped on it. I haven't actually like beat it into the ground with you guys because I don't know if and when it's happening. But you see this big run up from 2013, about a 400 to 600% increase. We have the same thing after this large run up. We have a 400 to 600% increase that has happened. This has happened at 5,000. I thought it was going to go to 6,000. Markets tend to shake people out of psychological barriers, and 5,000 is a psychological barrier. There should technically be a bull trap above 5,000 to 6,000 where it has a major sell-off. That being said, we're kind of having that here. We're having really toppy action. It's hard to say. It's hard to say if we're going to have a deep shakeout and continue higher, or a higher level consolidation, or if we actually will have a deep pullback like we did here. So why is this show negative? Yeah, it's hard to say if we will see a deep pullback similar to this, in which case it's just begun, and we have lows going all the way back down to the prior high, which would be about this 1,200 to maybe like 1,800 level area. Actually, someone mentioned this in one of the comments, so good technical analysis there. I don't remember your name to give you a shout out, but good technical analysis there. This could happen. I'm not saying it is happening, but this is a very abrupt sell-off. There's not a lot of buying pressure that we're noticing, so it could be in the cards. So if you're unshakable, I think it was Chris said he's unshakable. More power to you. Let's check in on the chat here. ETH almost 225. Let's go check Ether at 225. Go back to the 15-minute. We need to be at the lower time frames to really see what's happening here. Son of a... I wish you would just let me do what I want to do, chart. So yeah, guys, there's really not a lot of buying pressure here whatsoever. I'm not buying here. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, Frederick, you were asking what I would be doing at 225, and I told you I would wait and see what the price action was. This is very weak price action. I'm not buying here. I'm not touching anything. I haven't even opened up my account to buy. Not even priming ready for it. So this is just very, very weak action. Very, very... I'm going to get rid of this big yellow thing. Let me show you guys something that's been on my chart for quite some time. There's a lot of new people here. I see we're sitting 70, 80 on the stream. I just want to show you what we've been talking about. I just want to show you what we've been referring to over the past several days to a week or so. We've been talking about this head and shoulders pattern in Ethereum leading to a downtrend into possibly this area. This is the actual target line. Takes us down to 180. We're sitting at 225. 225 has some precedence over here coming out of this low. There's a lot of opening and closing of days happening right here. So 225 is an area where prior people do have long-term positions in. It's hard to say if they will be buying or selling these here. All we can do is look at the price action and make decisions based on that. Some people said, should I buy 225? I'm not buying 225 here. I typically will buy after a bottom and we see some actual upward momentum. I don't buy at bottoms. You never know when a bottom is, so therefore I don't buy at bottoms. So that being said, this is an extreme low. This is an extreme low that we've been shaken out of. Sorry guys, I'm not feeling so well. Give me a second. I'm going to step out and grab some water. All right, guys, thank you. So, yeah, like I said, if you guys are new, we've been talking about this possible run down here into the 180 level. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not a soothsayer. I'm just a chartist, and I can only show you guys what I see on the charts. Anton, you brought some buddies? Hello. Hello, Anton's buddies. So, Trung, you asked about what is a buying price in Bitcoin at the lowest? So, Trung, there is no lowest. No one can forecast that for you. We can try to infer some pricing based on prior history and kind of based on behavior and based on some percentage movements, but there's no lowest. I mean, like I said, if you didn't see me a minute ago, I'm gonna say this again because I think it's important. I think it's important. Look at this sell-off volume on the daily, guys. Look at this sell-off volume. So I'm just going to say this. We haven't seen, let me zoom out here. So if you notice this large sell-off volume here, this large sell-off volume here, this large volume movement here. So let's go back and kind of see where these large volume pops occur, because that's the big money at play. That's the herd mentality. That's a lot going on. So if you notice, this large volume spike to the upside capped the movement here from 2015 and put us in a base for about 6 months. Okay, so that large volume bar put us in a base that topped out that movement. Large volume can do one of two things. It can cap a movement or it can start a movement. All right, so let's look back over here. This is the 2013 run. This is the 2013 run. We had a large parabolic movement. The same way that we do now, we also right now currently have a large parabolic movement that we're in. You see this extraordinarily large volume spike at this low, and then it proceeded to bounce, but it still continued lower. Okay? So even though we bounce, we can still continue lower. If you look at this type of selling action right in here, I mean, this is what this reminds me of. I mean, this reminds me of some type of movement like this, where we've reached an all-time high and we retrace quite significantly, quite quickly. We bounce and then we roll over again. So I'm starting to think more and more that we do something like that. So, and I should probably prepare a little better and have some actual, that's just off the cuff, off the top of my head, guys. Any questions on that? Any? Yeah, Fred, it looks like you're kind of grasping the concept. So we can definitely have these large extreme sell-offs that get bounced into and sold into, and I have confidence that this one will bounce as well. I can't say when it will bounce. I can't say that we get shaken out from 225, which we're now sitting at. We're now sitting at 225. That's quite a low right there. I kind of want to let's go to the GDAX, and because we're in Coinbase, let's go to GDAX and just kind of watch this. Let's see what we can infer from some orders. Come on, open orders. So here we can see the order book. We're sitting at, oh, this is Bitcoin. I don't want to look at Bitcoin. So actually, we just breached this low in Bitcoin here of 33. We're now below 3,300. We can see 220 or 3277. Now again, guys, this is delayed 10 seconds. I wouldn't trade off of what I'm saying. You need to trade the charts that you're seeing. 75. Let's look at the volume. We have You know, you're looking for these large volume blocks on the left for some support and resistance in the actual order book side of things, if you want to get a little more granular. So here we have a big order at 3250. Big order at 3250. That's gone. That's been sold into. Another big level at 3244. So you can kind of start to infer where this buying pressure is, and you're going to start seeing jumps in Bitcoin when this buying pressure is more than this selling pressure up here on the ask side of it. So guys, we're going down here pretty significantly. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't be buying and I'd be selling under 325. Looks like that's been happening here in Ethereum. We have 222 that we're at. 225's gone. So like I said, not seeing any buying pressure. Still not seeing any buying pressure. There's a big selling Ethereum block at 2900 at 222.48. That's going to get hit right now. Let's see how that happens. So guys, we're shifting lower for sure. This is not bullish action. You're right, Frederick. ARK does not care. I was looking at it earlier, Frederick. ARK does not care. That's like the only thing that's up on my chart in any significance. Yeah, ARK just doesn't give a fuck. Oh, Misego down to 750. Actually, already remember my double head and shoulders we talked about here, guys, a while back. This double head and shoulders pattern kind of coming into play. Look at that. We've already breached that. We're going lower than that. That's significant in Omisego. That's significant in Omisego. So 70 here on the stream. Thanks for joining us. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Ask these guys. We talk about good information. Hey, Paul, you just got into cryptos, buddy. That's why this is tanking, unfortunately, because a bunch of people get into cryptos and then they end up selling into them. You know, Anton, I'm not necessarily... I did want to catch the breakdown in Ethereum, and I did. I did want to live stream that just so people can't say, oh, you didn't say that, you didn't call that, whatever. Now, I have it on video. I mean, you know, we've been talking about this for quite some time. Everyone in this chat room has. And yeah, spread the word, guys. Get people in here. We need to... I don't want people to lose their ass in this stuff. I mean, only a select few can really join a community. This isn't going to be like 1 million people. We're not going to affect markets doing this. But at the same time, if I can help a bunch of you guys avoid some pain, and maybe we can, you know, identify smaller coins between the community, and we can also try to help buy these bottoms when they occur. I mean, I think that'd be fantastic. Your friend asked today how to get Bitcoin. So show him the ropes. Point him to my channel. I'm probably going to be doing some intro videos just even on that level. And yeah, you know, get him interested. He needs to be interested, but I wouldn't put money to work here, obviously. Abdus Omisego, it's falling. That's what I think about it. It's been falling. It's not healthy here. It's falling in line with the market. I think everyone here, I think a lot of people believe in Omisego long term. It has had a big run up. It is due a sell off and is going to get one with this market. This day is going to go down in history as one of those days where, you know, it's just been apparent that the run is over. There's a lot of people that have been saying, oh, buy the dip, buy the dip. We have not been saying buy the dip at Real Crypto. Pretty much, I hope I've beat that out of most of you guys at this point. We don't buy the dip in downtrends. We buy the dip in uptrends. You know, I don't mind you guys buying the dip down here, or I mean up here. I mind you buying the dip here because it's lower highs and lower lows. So that we don't do that. Yep, Frederick, there you go. You don't see the buying pressure. You're starting to get it, kiddo. Sorry, kiddo. I'm 38. I call some... Sorry about that. I didn't mean to offend you. Been in it since 2014, Wong. That's why I got caught up in the hype. That's good. You know, look, if you're here in 2017, by the time 2020 comes, you know, you're going to be up. I don't have a doubt about that. At the same time, if we can step to the side on these markets and watch them fall, and we can gain some very low priced coins, then I think we're going to be in an even better position. I'm just going to call you Matos or Costa. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that first name. When should we buy Ethereum again? You should buy Ethereum when we start to see some buying pressure. Oh, we're back at 225. So maybe we're going to start to get that bounce here. We had a shakeout below 225. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. Let's kind of see. Yeah, we have some renewed buying pressure. So we may start to get that bounce here. Maybe. Let's see if we can get above 225. But you see this bounce? This is a bounce right here. Okay, this is a bounce. This is a failure. This is a nothing. So people looking to get in, at the 225. This isn't even a bounce. I mean, we sometimes talk about trying to trade bounces. I don't do it that often, but it is something you can do. This is a, this is a pretty good bounce to buy right here. You want to buy it right about this level. That'd be a good bounce to trade. Actually, I think I did trade. Not quite there, but yeah, this is not this area right here. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in, guys. Guys, I apologize. I don't have my regular mouse with me. I'm at work. I'm streaming at work right now just to give you guys a little bit of guidance, a little bit of direction. And we're failing that 225. So look at this large volume bar. Look at this bar. Let's go down to the 1 minute. So look at that large buying bar. Okay, I knew that was buying, and the 1 minute confirms it. I knew that was someone buying below 225, trying to put a bottom in. Okay, so what they're doing now is they're testing their purchase to see if there's more selling coming. That's pretty much what they're doing. At least that's what it appears to be. Unless someone just took a long-term position at 225, that could be it too. I mean, could just be a guy buying a bunch. 823 Ethereum. So, but looks like it's failing again. That didn't inspire a bunch of people to buy. So he bought below 225. He wanted to buy probably below 226. And we're still seeing negative action here, folks. Negative action here. Not seeing any strength. I'm not really analyzing all the coins, guys. They're all falling. They are all falling. If you have positions, go ahead and ask me a specific question. I will not be going over tons and tons of charts. I do have limited time. I'm at work right now. Kabichi, hello, buddy. How are you? Glad you can join us for the end of the world. So one thing you can do that's constructive during times like this, and I mentioned it before and Frederick said it earlier, look for coins that are holding up. Look for coins, I didn't mean to click that. Look for coins like ARK ARK's been kind of like it's the only thing that's really been up on the chart that's of any consequence. Let's see if there's anything else that's actually up. This is US dollar Tether, so that's not even a coin really. And most of these are all down double digits. We have ADX, which is ADX coin, that's down single digits. Geo down single digits. Pretty much everything else is negative. I mean, so you want to look for the leaders in a downward market, and ARK is a leader. So I wouldn't call it a leading coin, but it has a lot of strength up here. There's not a lot of selling pressure, so ARK is kind of a leading coin. I'm just going to breeze through. I said I wasn't going to do this, but there's interest. So I'm just going to go out here to the 4-hour chart. And I'm just going to breeze through some of these. So there's Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin going to lows. We've talked about this bubble area here. We know 2,900 to 3,000 is where this head and shoulders pattern points us down to. Ethereum, we know the same thing with Ethereum, which is 224.63. Bitcoin Cash looks like it's failed and we're heading down towards lows. We're going to get a bounce here at some point, guys. I just don't necessarily know when it's going to be. So I know I just drew this line here, but this is that's your line to get out. So Ripple just tanked. A lot of guys have asked me about Ripple, and I said, you know what, it's sitting at lows. I wouldn't be buying. I wouldn't be doing anything with Ripple. Litecoin, by the time I got asked that question about Litecoin, it was already broken down below. So at this point, it's just going into uncharted territory here, guys. We're getting into uncharted territory. You need to be in cash. Dash. Dash also breaking down, very similar to Litecoin. IOTA, sitting down towards the lows. Its low here was 36. Let's see if it gets down towards that area. So NEM, even NEM is breaking down, the coin with no heart. By heart, I mean it hasn't done anything for like 6 months. Also selling down, that's not a very good thing. Monero breaking down, that's not a good thing. I think I mentioned in a previous stream, if it goes below 100, you need to be selling. Ethereum Classic, here's your line in Ethereum Classic right here at 13. Omisego, I never really had a selling point on Omisego, to be honest with you. I don't want to lie to you guys. I never had a selling point. We did notice a double head and shoulders pattern here with an implied selling point of 10, basically $11. And the fact it lived below this line, this should be a point where you would have to get out of Omisego. If you're in it right now, I say hold in Omisego. It's at $8. That's testing this prior breakout area. If it breaks below 750 on really hard volume, I say you get out longer term. NEO, we said the selling isn't done in NEO, and it's not. Some people love NEO from back in the day when it had its huge run, but you can't love a coin. No offense to any ladies in there, but you know, you gotta treat these like, you know, like you love them and you throw them away. Okay, that's how you gotta treat these coins. Don't fall in love, guys. Seem to be a lot of people loving NEO. So, getting down to some of the smaller coins, Qtum back towards lows. I wouldn't be buying this. Even my buddy Lisk got creamed. That's why I never took a position. I never took a position because it really never did anything to the upside. Even though it was holding steady, I thought about it. I'm glad I didn't. Stratus down 13%. Oh, it broke down this channel line we've been looking at. So broke this to the downside. We'll just see how it goes. Waves. Oh, skip Zcash. Zcash broke this upper channel that I drew here. That's been a sell ever since then. I don't know if I would buy down here. I wouldn't buy much here, guys. I wouldn't be buying anything at this point. I'd be sitting in cash, watching, eating popcorn. This is now a show for you to watch and be happy that you're cash and you listen to the guys in the channel. ARK, that's the coin. There we go. Was it ARK we were talking about? Is it ARK up here? No, this is the coin we were talking about. Yeah. So this is the leading coin. Still sitting up here at highs. I don't know if I'd put money to work here, but this would be at the top of my watch list for leading coins. At some point, mark my words, ARK is going to make a massive run. And you know why? Because it didn't sell off when everything else was. Stellar, pointing down towards this low level. It's actually sitting right on a support line here. If it can get some support here, good. Otherwise, it's just going to tank. Pay, pretty much broken all support at this point. It's sitting at the low of here. Looks like it has a little bit of support. Sell-off isn't huge in Pay. Isn't huge in Pay. That's not a big sell-off. That's not a big sell-off. Maybe if you want to take some positions, I would maybe nibble here. We could get down towards these lows before we're done at 125. But it has a little bit of support, and I believe in the Pay project. Now we're getting some really small coins, Bytecoin, Numeraire coin, tanking. Most of these are tanking 23, 12%. That's Monaco, I believe. Monaco's sitting at lows, pointing lower. Don't buy anything pointing lower because they tend to go lower. So, and 20%, 30%, you know, even our beloved Triggers tanking down 30%. You know, Geocoin 4%. That's not holding too bad, but it's been at lows. Cloakcoin not doing too shabby. I think I do have a small position in Cloakcoin that I'm underwater in at this point. I bought off this breakout here. Had some good action. And then P-Toy. I also bought a little bit of P-Toy yesterday just because I was bored. Never buy when you're bored. Let's check the chat. So 78 guys here on the stream. I just want to take this opportunity to say subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Talk to these guys. We have good stuff in the chat rooms. You're welcome, Avatar. Man, you guys are streaming fast. You guys are chatting faster than I can respond. ETH at 230. Nice. So there's the bounce. We knew it would be bouncing at some point in time. All right. So ETH up at 230. We have some large volume spikes down. We could get a bounce into this trend line if you want to trade this for 20 bucks. That's a possibility. I will not be, however. I will not be trading that for $20. I like my other money that much better. Let's dive down to the 15-minute, then maybe we'll go to the 1-minute chart. So that's a reversing candle. That's a reversing candle right there, guys. Like I said, could be good for a bounce. I can't say if it's going to get up here, maybe give you 13, 14, 15%. I can't say if that's going to happen. We'll more likely see a sideways movement like here, if anything. So here's something else to point out. And I haven't talked about this before. I don't think at all. You start to see these legs up, and they get tested, and then they fail. Okay, this is kind of a base, and this is a leg up and get tested. If you see these run-ups start to lose angular momentum, if you will, and start to get weaker and shorter in length, that indicates lack of buying pressure and more selling pressure. So just want to keep that in mind. Sorry, guys. So it looks like we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. I would say for now the selling has subsided. It looks that way. We could get a nice bounce in here. Maybe we get, like I said, a 10 to a 15% move. It could, take as long as until midnight or so to get that. Maybe the selling has abated for now altogether. We'll see. Maybe we jump back and test this prior low of 250. Or maybe this trend line holds us down, this trend line here on the 15-minute. This can hold us down. This can hold us down. Yeah, so is this the neckline? Oh, this is the neckline break. Yeah, this is a neckline break. So if this is quite a bit of volume down here at the 225 area. We talked about this yesterday, this possibly being an area for a lot of support. We're seeing that support. If you want to trade this for a possible trade, that could be in the cards, but still you need to be on top of this thing, guys. I mean, if a news item comes out, it could tank this market in no time. You have to be on top of this. I wouldn't hold this overnight. I wouldn't be doing anything brash. I wouldn't take large position sizing. I would do this for a trade and you need to keep an eye on it like a hawk. So let's go to the 1-minute. So this is actually this is a little constructive. So we have a little top here at 232, it looks like, from this bottom to this top to this top to this top. Do you guys see that? So there's a little top right here. If it can break up or that top in volume, like I said, we could get a move up here into this other trend line. Like I said, maybe get 10 to 15%. I'm trying to give you perspectives from different time frames. And you need to look at different time frames, especially when you're looking at extremes like this. You need to see where volume is coming in. Like this large green bar was some buying, and now we have an accumulation pattern, kind of a high flag. So here's your flagpole, and here's a flag on decelerating volume, indicating that the selling has subsided at this point. And so, like I said, we're probably going to be rising. Maybe we're done for the day in terms of selling. Maybe China precedes the next wave of sell-off. It's a little hard to say. I don't like to forecast in the future, but it's nice to put some scenarios into place so you can understand what's happening and have a game plan if that does. Again, This could fail also. This could just straight up fail. So we'll just have to see. And this is why you want to wait for levels to be broken. This is why you don't want to buy at the bottom, because maybe you wanted to buy right here on this really large volume bar, right? That could be a shakeout bar, and I couldn't really blame you for that. But if you're patient and you're able to wait a little bit, you can see that there was never any strength in this movement right here. Okay? And then it broke again. So now we're kind of testing this level again. And yeah, you could have bought here and been a little bit underwater, but you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you could say the same thing for this bar right here. You could say the same thing for this bar. Okay? Large volume bar, but it was all sold into, and you'd be underwater by like 20 to 30 bucks, 10% or so. So you want to be patient during these sell-offs, and you want to understand what's happening. Sorry guys, I can't get to the chat when I'm looking at the charts. I'd love to answer all of your questions. Thanks, Aviad. Thank you. I got IOTA at 52. Should I cash out and wait, or maybe it bounced back to 52? In IOTA, you're not too underwater in IOTA. You're not too underwater in IOTA. I would get out personally if you're in at 52. Yeah, if you're in at 52, you're going to be down 11%. I would take the loss and just let this market play itself out. It's just really weak. It's not holding any levels. It's going to go down lower. That's my personal opinion. I don't know your other circumstances, so that's just an opinion. Dillman, come on, we've been talking about this, buddy. We've been talking about this. So bought Litecoin 7 hours back. This is why you don't catch bottoms, guys. This is why you don't catch bottoms. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel. Let me beat that into your heads. Okay? Let me beat that into your heads. You don't buy. This is why you don't try to catch those bottoms. I've lost 5K if I sell in about 50% of my initial investment, but that's just play money. No emotions there. I don't know what you're in terms of the 5K. I don't know what you're in. If it's play money, that could be tough. It's hard to say, Wong. I don't want to steer you in one direction or another. If you don't care about the money and have no emotional attachment and are willing to wait 5 to 6 months, you'll have that money back. Node, you're here, buddy. How you doing? Node investor, everybody. If you guys want some more good chart stuff, go to Node Investor. I actually subscribe to him through my channel, so he is a good chartist as well. Nice to see you. Edgeless, I think it's holding up. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go ahead and get to some more things here. Do terrorists transact business with Bitcoin and Ethereum? Yes, I'm pretty sure they do. High note again. How do you get into chat room? I'm just talking this chat room. I don't have an actual chat room. Yeah, thanks. Hey, give me a call later, okay? We need a chat. We've been talking about it. Let's actually connect this time, all right, Node? Is Lisk rebounding? Bought most of my QDM at 300. Should I sell it and buy ARK? That's gonna be a tough call. I'm a believer in cash. I'm not a believer in moving to other coins in situations like this. I think that is not a that's not a move that I would make. What do I think of Omisego? I think down at this level at Omisego, I think you hold it. I don't know if it's moved since I last talked about it. I think you hold it at this point. It's down pretty far. Um, if you still have it, maybe if you want to take a flyer position here, we are at extremes at this particular point. So I would, yeah, yeah, it's at extremes. You can take a position, but you can anticipate possibly further downside movement in any coin at this time. In any coin. Um, so I'm gonna bring this up again. I'm gonna bring this up again just because I talked about it earlier in some. So here you go, guys. Strata says, I lost 40% because of buying some dips in a bear trend. Wish I'd found your channel in time. Thanks for the good work. We don't buy dips and downtrends. We don't buy dips and downtrends. Even buying dips and uptrends can be a little risky, but it can be fruitful if you can read the charts effectively. So let's see what Ethereum 232. Yeah, so we popped here. Looks like we've the selling's abated a little bit here. So okay, Bolts works well with the S&P. You're talking about like moving around. Yeah, that's because there's a lot more money at play. It's a lot more mature market. This is the Wild West, man. You just want to be out. I just want to be out. I don't want to. I don't want to try to play favorites. I don't want to be playing favorites. Let's check out some charts. If we're looking to buy Ethereum, should we wait? My personal opinion and what I'm doing with my account is I'm still waiting. I am still cash. I'm still all cash. For the most part, I think I have like 2% and something. Yeah, I think the bounces or the sell-off is over for the moment. I think we're done going down for now. I think we could. So I'm looking at a 15-minute chart. We may bounce into this trend line here at some point. May bounce into this trend line. Hard to say if it's going to go sideways and fail, or if it's just going to go up and then fail again. But I still think, still looks like the selling has not abandoned at this point. At least longer term. Let's look at Bitcoin. I haven't looked at Bitcoin in a while. Bitcoin looks a little more bearish than Ethereum does at this particular point. Looks like we had a little bit of a bounce, and that's been faded right into. Yeah, these are not very good charts, guys. These are not very good charts. So here you see a Bitcoin try to rebound here, and so it's really just failing. These moves are getting weaker, and they're getting more feeble, and they're failing faster, which is. We talked a little bit about a rounding top, I think, in another stream, and that's what a rounding top indicates. It indicates kind of all these rebounds getting weaker and selling off faster. That's what anytime you see a rounding top action. We talked about this, I think, on the mainly with Ethereum. Let's check out the charts with Ethereum. Zoom in here. So here's kind of the start. Here's kind of a rounding top, and it's not really exactly a rounding top. Where did I see the round? Oh, it was the other Ethereum chart. Here's a rounding top right here. See that rounding action? See that rounding action? If you see that in anything, your whiskers need to be perked. Your hair the hair on the back of your neck needs to stand up, and you need to pay attention. I'm not saying you sell. I'm saying you pay attention. Strata, if two oscillators don't agree, that's why I don't use oscillators. So I don't have good advice for you there. That's why I don't use oscillators. I don't use RSI. I don't use MACD. I don't use Bollinger Bands. That's why I don't use them at all. Yeah, now that doesn't mean that there aren't people that have learned to use them with success. I just haven't found that to be successful for me, and therefore I don't use them. And yes, Frederick does say is correct during extremes on the high and the low side. They all fail. All oscillators fail. All oscillators fail at some point. So talked about no buying the dip. I don't mind buying dips in uptrends, but we are definitely not in an uptrend. We are in a waterfall, and water doesn't flow uphill. So Wong, I'm quite diversified. This would be a nice time for me to talk about diversification. I'm in it for years. Okay, Wong, so that's good. In it for years is very good, especially for a diversified portfolio. For a trading account, I do not believe in diversification. I believe in highly focused concentration on your positions, knowledge in your positions, and very good technical technical knowledge so you can trade accordingly. Even if you're in it for the long term, I still think you should have most of those. You should have most of those characteristics about your trading philosophy, your trading style. So, should I sell and enlarge my coin holdings? So at this point, are you saying sell because you could get some further downside action? If you want to sell now to avoid further downside action, if you still have a position in Ethereum and Bitcoin now and you're thinking about selling, this would be my advice. This is what I would do. And again, this is not perfect advice. This isn't the key to all your problems. This is just a possible solution. Now that we've hit extremes of, we talked about 225. Now that we've hit 225, we seem to have some support here. Okay, if we start to get a bounce, you need to find a resistance level to sell into. Okay, you need to sell into it. So in other words, you know, if you wanted to get out in here and you're like, man, I really want to get out, and then it comes up and starts to round over, and then you need to get out somewhere up here, whatever you're comfortable with, you know. But remember that you wanted to sell down here. Just remember that, because when you get up here, you're not going to want to sell, and then you're going to have further further pain. So the only time that I would not sell up here if I wanted to sell down here is if you saw a turnaround in the market, if you saw a change in behavior, if you saw, you know, different indicators, different time frames, different coins, different news articles. You know, you want, if you see a change in behavior, you know, you want to do that. You know, but like if you want to sell here, I think we have some support here, and it looks like that we do based on this volume action. Also, the fact that we have a lower low here that is shorter than this lower low. This is obviously a large gap, right? This is a large gap, but this is not a large gap. This is a smaller gap, indicating that the selling has subsided and a lot of buying is taking place. And we could bounce up into this level, maybe at 258. I think on my other chart we have other, yeah, so there's the other trend line. So we have this up here at about 258. We have this trend line we could bounce into, and you could sell up in these areas, okay, if you still want to get out of a position, if you're still in at this moment. That being said, if we go back down below this 225 level, you have to abandon ship. You have to abandon ship. Again, Frederick, will I be buying ETH at 180? I will be checking out the price action. I'll be checking out the price action. Yeah, I'm pretty much all about price action. Total market cap. Let's look at that. You know, we haven't coinmarketcap.com. Glad you guys can hear me. Sorry about that earlier. 114 billion. You know what, guys? If we can get this down cheap, we need to get that money and put it to work. So here we have Bitcoin, and here we have Bitcoin market cap, and below we have just the altcoins minus. It says right there excluding Bitcoin. So let's look at this. Let's kind of see where we are in the overall picture. I think Coinbase has some kind of a what's the word I'm looking for? Index fund. They have some kind of an index fund. I'm not familiar with it, but I think we can use this to gauge some health. So 114 billion, our top over here was 114 billion. We're sitting right here at this prior high in terms of market cap. This means right now that everyone that's ever bought since this high is underwater, okay? And if you're looking at altcoins, it's a little bit more bearish. We've broken this uptrend right here, and yeah, we're due to sell off. Maybe we come back and maybe we test these lows down here at 33 billion in terms of market cap. Man, that would be a really good place to buy. Dillman, why are the good coins doing badly while the shit coins hold up? Very good question. So, yeah, at 180 I said I would sell my house and buy is what I said. I said I would sell my house and buy it. Yeah, I don't think my fiance would go for that. Yeah, so why do the good coins sell off and why do the shit coins run? This is the main reason, because the good coins know what they're doing. The people, think about it, Bitcoin has a multi-billion dollar market cap, right? Ethereum has a multi-billion, 55 and 21. Okay, $55 billion market cap. That's a lot of money. And the people that know what they're doing invest in Bitcoin and Ethereum and play around with the other coins. So they don't have large enough positions to worry about. Yeah, again, I'm not sure if I will actually mortgage my house. I don't think the girlfriend will do that, or the fiance would do that. So I think Aviad Omise, sorry if I'm butchering your name. I really apologize. I want to get out of IOTA. When do I think you should sell? You look like you're in a panic mode, buddy. So let's help you out a little bit. I think I tried to answer your question earlier, and I said I think you should sell. So I think you were the one in at 52. I think you should sell. You're only down 11%. Count your blessings. You're only down 11, and I think you should sell here. That would be my advice. You know, without knowing anything else, you know, IOTA isn't looking super healthy. It's chopping around these low levels, and it's not getting any support. So more than likely, it's going lower. Now, if you want to hold this for a long time, I think you'll be fine. If you want to hold this for a long time, I think you'll be fine. But it sounds like you've been in since 52, and let's just do this. Let's give you some perspective here. Let's give you some perspective. Okay. So you're in at 52. You're not in at 80. Okay? You're not down that much. I wouldn't be panicking, but I would sell. 33 billion on the altcoins, Frederick. Hey, quiet. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, you know what? I think putting out what I think. So, I'm not a marketer. I don't really market my channel. I have posted it on Reddit, which some of you may have come from Reddit. I have posted it on Reddit because I think it's valid to the Reddit people. But yeah, when I posted my video about my actual targets in Bitcoin and in Ethereum, you know, I try to be objective, but I think when you're trying to get people to watch the videos, you need to actually hit them in the face. So I'm going to start doing that. You're going to see some different titles from me that are going to be a little more aggressive, but on my channel, I will still talk objectively. Eric, how long will I be streaming for? Not much longer. As you can see, my battery is getting a little low here. I am at work. I've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes. I have a great job that kind of allows me some freedom. So lucky for that for all of us, but not too much longer. So yeah, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. I am very active on YouTube. You can ask these guys in the chat. I do try to give out the best advice I can given everyone's situation. Sell to US Tether today and buy when there's further downside, Wong. Like I said, Wong, if you wanna sell, personally, I think that the selling is abated for the moment, for the time being. I'll go over this with you again. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version if you didn't catch it. I think if you sell, if we bounce up into this trend line, you can sell. Or if we break down below the 225, 220 level, you can sell as an emergency sell. But I think we're done going down for this moment in time. I think we're going to have a bounce, and we could get up into this trend line. We could hit this 250 area. I mean, in theory, guys, in theory, we could even test this neckline. We could even come all the way back to this neckline and then fail again. And let's look at that from a daily perspective. That looks great. I hate how they do this. Okay, so let's look at this from a daily perspective. We're actually pretty far off. So again, like I said this a long time ago, you need to have the daily perspective, especially for these larger coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're pretty far off of this trend line right now, okay? We're really far off of this trend line. I'm sure if I had some moving averages, we'd be really far off from the moving averages. It would be healthy for this to bounce up into this and then sell off again. All right, if you guys have been watching for a while, you know that I talked about this potential W pattern happening larger in Ethereum. I'm saying it's a possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not a fortune teller, but you can start to see patterns. And for this to play out, we don't want this to sink down this low this fast. We actually would like a more orderly sell-off and a bounce off into here. Here's that 250 area. That would be pretty good for this to bounce into. I mean, wouldn't that look healthy? If you take the 1 minute and the 15 minute and the 2 hour out of the equation, if we had some bars, like if we had a bar up here, I mean, that would be a pretty healthy bar for us to continue our downtrend. So right now we're in a trend. We're in a trend. Keep that in mind, guys. We're in a trend. We're trending down. It's going down. Okay? This is an uptrend. This is a downtrend. We're in a downtrend. So a healthy downtrend would be okay to pull to this level and continue lower. So if you're looking for a reversal, it doesn't look like it may happen here, but that's kind of a different ball game if you're looking for a reversal. So SP Mobiles, yeah, you need to decide if you're a trader or a holder. Okay, first of all, you need to decide that. You don't need to let the market decide that. Okay, if you're in at 2,500 and you want it to go up, you need to sell when it goes back under 2,500. Okay, that's what you need to do. If you're going to be a holder, then you buy at 2,500. You put it in a paper wallet under your grandma's china set, and you never touch it again. Analysis on TNT. Well, I'm assuming it's going to be like my analysis on all the other coins. It's probably I can't see it here. So most of these coins are falling. Everyone asks about coins because you have positions, and I understand that it's a frightful time. At the same point, if they're all falling, I mean, this one's pointing downward. Do you want to buy here? Do you have a position you want to sell? What's your actual question? My thoughts on TNT is I'm not touching it with a 1,000,000-foot pole. Frederick, you're always my cheerleader here, buddy. I really appreciate that. It kind of keeps me going. Yeah, guys, go on some other channels, maybe chat with some people, and Tell them to subscribe. Looking to accumulate. Looking to accumulate. Well, market cap of 45 million. I'm not going to second guess why you want to do this particular coin. Come on, server. Guys, I got about 5 minutes, so I'm going to bow out of here and get lunch. Personally, I wouldn't accumulate this coin. You have your reasons. I will assume you know what you're doing. It's sitting near all-time low. Well, are you looking at you? Okay, I'm just going to look at the US dollar to keep things simple, okay? It's sitting at all-time lows. It's sitting at all-time lows. I would hate for you to get caught up in a situation where you have faith in something that may or may not work. If you want to accumulate it, make it a percentage of your portfolio. Don't do your whole portfolio. And yeah, you know what? I can't even see this. What markets are it in? Yeah, it's in a bunch of smaller markets. You know, just ditch this coin. That's my advice. Ditch this coin. Just nothing looks good about that coin. I don't see anything good. If you have some insider information, send me a message. Other than that, you know, guys, you're asking me about the channel, the videos. I don't have a set schedule at this time. I try to jump on when the markets are doing something or whenever I have some spare time. I have a, you know, I'm very busy. I'm very busy. I do this when I can and as I can, and I try to do videos every day. Sometimes I do them every other day. Some days I try to do them multiple times. It just depends. I don't have a set streaming schedule. I will try that, though. I understand that a lot of you guys need to be places, so I will try to set up a stream schedule, maybe during lunchtime, which would be at noon in about 10 minutes. Maybe that would that would be a good time. If you guys have some opinions, do you guys like daily videos? Do you guys like? Do I overload you guys with videos? Those of you that are already subscribing, I know I can post quite a bit. Am I overloading you? Am I not posting enough? Tell me what you guys want to see, because you guys are going to grow this channel. I can only speak into the camera. Look at Ethereum. So we talked about Ethereum bottoming out here and running. It looks like it's starting to do that. So how high, how far? We talked about possibly testing this 250 level. We talked about it going into this trend line here. Longer term, it looks like it's still in a downward trend. So I believe we're still going to go further downward. So if you're buying this up here, possibly you're already up 2%. You know, we talked about possibly getting a 10 or so % gain out of this if it breaks up into this trend line. What you want to see, if you're going to trade this for a bounce, I am not going to trade this. I am not going to trade this. You want to see it kind of just stair step up higher like this. The second you see a lower high or a lower low, you get out. This is your maximum sell point. If you bought this bounce, this is your maximum sell point. And that's the reason why I'm not going to trade this, because even if I bought now, say I bought here at 270 after it was clear, I'd get 276. I'd get $6 out of this, and the risk I would take to get that $6 to me is not worth it. That is not a good risk reward, because this could have easily failed on this bar as it did over here. Hey, you're welcome, guys. I appreciate you being here and listening to me ramble. My fiance appreciates it too, because now she doesn't have to hear it. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. It's been an hour and a half. It's about lunchtime. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much for joining the live stream. We'll talk to you later. And, you know, I'll give you guys a chance to comment if you have any more last minute last minute questions. Again, there was a 10-second delay. How long will Bitcoin go? I don't have the exact answer for that. I do have an idea of where Bitcoin could go, and it is down here. I have a video about where Bitcoin and Ethereum could go. 3,000 is what I mentioned in that video. And I'm going to do another video with not an updated analysis, but a further analysis. All right, you're welcome, guys. Thanks for being here.